John. Welcome back to our online community content. If you would, after this episode, go ahead and take a moment and subscribe to our YouTube channel. And you can also visit our website, fccbrazil.org, where you can find all of our podcasts and any other online community content that we post. But most of all, I hope that you find this next presentation inspiring to lead you to a loving Father, a caring community, and a life-changing faith. Enjoy. Hello and welcome to this month's volunteer training. I'm so glad that you've joined us. I'm glad that you're here and you're willing to learn more about volunteer training in our kids ministry. If you are a volunteer, I just want to say thank you so much for watching this video. We really appreciate people who watch this video, but also the people who watch it multiple times to make sure they are intaking everything that we're saying. If you're watching this video on YouTube, we have a playlist with all of our videos on there, so you can do that. But if you're not watching it there, feel free to head on over to our YouTube channel. It's just First Christian Church of Brazil, and you can watch all of our content there, all of our volunteer training, everything like that. You can find that there. If you're a parent, I want to thank you for being here. Our parents, we know that it's kind of weird that we put our volunteer training out there for everybody to hear and for everybody to know, but honestly, we do that because there's no secrets about what goes on in our kids' ministry. We don't want to hide anything from you because we believe in the power of family ministry. We believe in the power of the family growing together, the family knowing what's going on. Maybe you have a big family, maybe you have a small family, but we believe in the power of family ministry over kids' ministry. So we don't want to just be teaching the kids, but we want to be helping you teach your kids and for you to be growing closer to your kids, because when the whole family grows, everyone grows. And if you're somebody who it's your first time watching, maybe you stumbled upon this video, maybe you have nothing to do with First Christian Church of Brazil, I hope that you can use the content that I discuss here and we use for the glory of God and to be able to train your volunteers or train yourself as a volunteer. Now, I do want to say real fast that the stuff that we'll be talking about in here is a little bit specific to what we do just because of our check-in and check-out process, but everything that you'll intake here you could also implement into your own check-in and check-out process and use in your own way. So feel free to take anything that's discussed here, use it for yourself, plagiarize it, whatever, I don't care. I had somebody tell me one time that ministry is done best when it's plagiarized, and I think when we're in ministry we need to be willing to help others out as much as we possibly can, and we need to be willing to get new ideas and new things like that from other people. So thank you so much for joining us. We're going to talk about 6 ways to make drop-off less stressful. Drop off and pick up are 2 of the most stressful times, not even for just regular church people, but also for people who it's their first time visiting. Now, maybe it's been a while since you've been to a church for the first time, but it's very stressful going to a church for the first time. I get stressed out going by myself. I get stressed out going with my wife. I can't imagine how stressed I would be if I was going with my kids and actually dropping them off somewhere. I remember when I was young, I used to go to church with my parents. Well, I always did, but I would go to new churches with my parents whenever we go on vacation, and I would always tell them, I do not want to go to the kids' ministry. I don't want to do that. I'm afraid. I'm scared. I don't want to go. And they would always tell me, you don't have to go. But we don't want kids to feel that way, and we so certainly don't want parents to feel that way. We want everyone to feel good about the opportunity they have to worship God here at First Christian Church. So here are some good ways to make this process more comfortable, easier for people who go here, but also for the people who maybe they aren't a part of our church family yet, maybe they're a Christian, maybe they're not a Christian, but they're interested in being a part of our church family. Way number 1 is be calm. You who are the greeters and the teachers who are the first ones that people interact with, just be calm. All right. If you are unorganized or anxious or anything like that, that's going to come off onto the other person as well. So just be there. Ask them if they have any questions. Help them know what to do. Give them the instructions they need. Just do what needs to be done, and don't be too stressed about it, because if you get stressed, they're going to be stressed. If you get anxious, they're going to be anxious. But a peaceful way of speaking and a peaceful mindset can really, really help people who it's their first time, or maybe they just get stressed out each time that they drop off their kids. Way number 2. Smile. Just smile for them. You have no idea how much a smile communicates. Our communication team right now is talking about how we don't just communicate with what we say, but we communicate with what we do. So what are we communicating to the church each and every week? And I told him, I said, a smile. I said, when our greeters, when our welcome team, our host team, whatever you want to call it, when they greet with a smile, it makes a world of difference. I've walked into churches before where I just get the door held open for me and I walk right in. That feels good. But when I have the door open, a handshake, and a smile, and I'm maybe handed a bulletin or something like that, it just communicates so much more to be given that smile in addition. The positivity that is communicated through smiles is outstanding, and we want to be sure we're doing that all the time. Number 3, speak directly to the kid. Now, if you're a greeter, your main focus, or if you're at the registration desk, your main focus is the parent. If you are a greeter, if you're at the registration desk, your main focus is helping the parent. If you're a teacher, your main focus is to help the kids, because you're going to be interacting with the child a whole lot more than the parent. And the greeters, you'll be interacting with the parents a whole lot more than you'll be interacting with the child. But just because you only speak to the parents does not mean you cannot acknowledge the child, say hello, a simple wave, a high five, whatever you need to do, acknowledge the child. And if you're a teacher, when that child comes in the door, or when you first see that child, give them a wave, give them a high five, give them something, get down on their level, introduce yourself. We have name tags on. If the child is old enough to read, you can point to your name tag and say, this is my name. Maybe if they're not old enough to read, you can still show them the name tag and say, this is my name, this is who I am. I care about you, and I want you here. All right? You can tell them, they can tell if they want you here or not simply by the way you interact with them, not just what you say. Number 4, give them clear steps and directions. You want for the parents to understand exactly what's going to happen. Now, we want to give those to both the parents and the kids. So when you're a greeter, give the parents clear steps and directions. Hey, this is our registration. We register kids by printing them out a name tag and printing you out a coded tag that you come back and you scan. However, since this is your first time with us, we're going to have you fill out some information on the laptop or on the iPad. So just give us some information about you to make sure that we serve you as best we possibly can. And when you come back next week, you'll get a name tag, or your child will get a name tag. You'll get a barcode sheet, and you'll have all of that and be ready. So we'll be ready for you when you come back. And while they're filling out that information, you can feel free to talk to them. If they don't seem like they're interested in talking, just stand there, be there, maybe interact with a few other parents, but be available in case they do have questions or need next steps. Now, when you're the teacher and the child comes down, play with them, hang out with them, be there next to them. Maybe you don't have to be directly interacting with them, but be near them to give them a sense of community and to help them know, hey, somebody else is here. And tell them what's coming next. If you're sitting there coloring before everything starts, say, hey, here soon we're going to go over to those blue chairs and we're going to have some fun. Or if you're a wee kid, say, hey, we're playing right now, but here soon we're going to have a lesson or a craft or whatever. Just give them some notice about what's coming next, so that way they can feel free to know and ask questions if they need to. Number 5, ask about allergies and other medical concerns. Now, the computer and the iPad already ask about this, but for a parent to be able to communicate that to an actual person and not just a screen means a whole lot more. It makes them feel more comfortable with, okay, somebody actually knows that my child is allergic to peanut butter, or somebody actually knows that my child has issues with flashing lights or anything like that. It really helps them to know. I had a parent come in one time. He came in with his kids. He said I wasn't going to stay. He said, but he wanted to at least walk down with them. He pulled me aside and he said, now my child has a little bit of a hard time with like strobe lights, flashing lights, different things like that. Do you guys do any of that. And I said, no, we do not. We don't want to mess with that. We understand some children have problems with that, so we don't even do that. And he said, that's excellent. Now, he had to initiate that with me, but in reality, I should have been the one asking about something like that. But you could tell he was much more calm and willing to leave his kids and let them have fun time on their own once he communicated that to me. And with children, if they're having a snack or something like that, ask first. Just say, hey, can you have goldfish? Hey, can you have this? Even though you already know because of what the parent said, it still helps the kids to communicate that. They can talk about their favorite snack or something like that, which helps them connect and communicate with you. And the last thing on the list is to reassure the parents. Reassure the parents that everything is okay when something seems off. If their child is crying, if they seem upset, reassure the parent, hey, this happens with everybody. Hey, don't be embarrassed. It's okay. Or share a personal story with them when something happened with your own kids. Say, hey, when I first came here, my kids screamed and cried too. When I first dropped them off at the nursery, they were yelling for mom too. Help them to know that things are going to be okay, and this happens with everybody. And especially if they seem concerned, let them know, hey, and whatever age it is too, hey, if your child screams and cries for longer than 10, 15 minutes, give them a tangible time. 10, 15 minutes, we'll come and get you. We will let you know, we'll come and get you, so that way they're going to be okay. But we want to make sure that they are taking in every opportunity to know that we are looking out for them and we're looking out for their kids. And that's pretty much it. When we do those 6 different steps, it makes drop off and the checkout times much easier for them. And I want to read you a verse in 1 Peter chapter 2, verse 12. It says, keep your conduct among the Gentiles honorable, so that when they speak against you as evildoers, they may see your good deeds and glorify God on the day of visitation. Gentiles were not Jews back then. They were seen as outside their religion or outside their faith, outside their family. But we want to invite people into our faith, invite people into our church family. So the whole idea is whenever anybody, it's their first time coming, maybe they aren't normally joining us, maybe they are here and it's not something they normally do, we don't want to have any type of bad reputation with them. We want them to know this is a safe place. This is a place that's good for your kids. This is a place that's good for you because God is good and God loves us and we love you. Thank you so much for joining us for this month's volunteer training. Remember, God above me, kids before me, love inside of me. We thank you so much for joining us, and I hope you will be here for us next time. Thanks.